Should we do the For Good duet?
Yeah, ready?
Like a comet pulled from
Like a ship
orbit. Like a stream that meets a
by a
boulder.
wind off the sea. Hey guys, I'm Takiya.
And I'm Amber. Welcome back to the table read.
It is the most anticipated week of the year, for us at least.
Dun dun dun.
Wicked Week! We have been waiting for this moment for the last year. Literally earlier this year, whenever Takiya came to Nashville, we were running off set, watching the Oscars on her phone, like back into my apartment, with Ariana and Cynthia performing because it was that important to us.
I made what is it called?
A free account.
Yeah, a free TV subscription account just so we could watch it.
So the big debate with Wicked for Good is part 1 versus part 2. I will say people are seeming to forget the fact that it's just one movie. It just split into 2. It's almost like when you go to a play, for example, they have the different acts. It's like you just press pause, like a concert. There's like intermission sometimes. Just press pause, go do what you gotta do, come back. I feel like people are forgetting that, but I'm interested. What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are in a weird uproar about it, and everyone's like, the second one is never better or like better than the first. And I'm just like, it's the same thing though. Like it's a continuation, not like a sequel.
Right.
Like it's a continuation. And there was this one person who popped up on my For You page on TikTok who was like, it did not need to be 2 parts, like In the Heights and something else did their entire thing in 1 part and all this stuff. And I was like, I get it, but at the same time, not everything really has to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think it was kind of exciting to have it in 2 parts. It left us kind of like on a ledge almost, like just waiting and seeing what happens next, even though if you've seen the play, if you watched the show, whatever, you obviously know what happens. But things change in the movies, and I was one person who like wasn't really, I've never seen Wicked, and I've never really like known much about the storyline, so I was in shock a good portion of the film.
Yeah, I agree. I think I understand for the momentum part. Like, I feel like I should have watched part 1 again before going into part 2 so I could like leave on that high and then go in and watching it. So like I get it in that sense, but also like you were saying, I mean the excitement, the press around it, like having that year to wait and have that to look forward to. I loved that. And like you were saying, I haven't seen Wicked the play, but I have a cousin.
Musical. Sorry guys. People
The musical, sorry.
People get real mad when you call a musical play.
Sorry.
Musical, guys.
The stage production. I haven't seen the stage production.
There we go.
And my cousin, she has always loved Wicked. So growing up, I had always known about it. And she's like obsessed with Elphaba. And I had heard about it. And during part 1, she explained the entire production to me. So going into part 2, I knew everything that was going to happen. But the people I was with had no idea. Well, some of them did, but some of them didn't. So it was like funny watching them whenever. Also, guys, if you have not seen For Good, you might just not want to watch this video because it's spoiler central. But like my friend didn't know that Elphaba was alive, that Fiera was a scarecrow, Bach was the Tin Man. Like they had no idea any of that. So it was fun watching them and seeing their like reactions to everything because I did know, which part of me is like, I kind of wish I didn't, but also I feel like it eased my anxiety because I didn't cry. My friends did. I didn't, and I'm like, is it because I knew like that she was gonna be okay? I don't know, but
I would have thought you would have at least cried during For Good. Like that's where everyone gets like, they're like, ugh.
I love that song. I think honestly, probably what got me the most, I mean, For Good, obviously, but whenever Dulcie Bear came out, I was like, my God.
I literally was like, this is happening right now. I felt so bad for Elphaba.
I was mad at the Cowardly Lion. He sure did have a lot to say.
Rose.
Okay, yeah.
Nessa Rose, girl,
I will say another debate people have been talking about, which like I kind of, in the original Wizard of Oz, her feet shriveled up after Dorothy had already taken the shoes. So I know people kept wanting to see the feet, which like for the purpose of it all, that would have been nice, but they have to remember that Dorothy had already walked away. So, like, by the time Elphaba got there, the feet were already shriveled. Yeah. So there wasn't really anything to see. And I know people kept, like, waiting to see the feet, which, like, I'm also guilty of it. I was like, where is it? Same. Like, I was, like, trying to look behind Glinda. Like, where is her feet? Yeah. But I do think people had, like, a lot of expectations going into it and were kind of disappointed, which everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But I do feel like part one for the lighter, happier vibes was good because they were kids, innocent ish in a sense. The music was lighter. I love part one music. And then part two was definitely more, when you become an adult and shit gets real.
Seriously.
So I don't know. I feel like I liked both of them, but I've tried to think about it and I'm like, if I had to pick, and then I'm like, well, part one, it's always just gonna be like, but then I'm like, but this and part two.
I love part 2.
Me
But
too.
I also didn't see part 1 in theaters. So I feel like that really made a difference, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like the whole experience is seeing a movie in theaters, especially a movie like Wicked.
Exactly. And I was like trying to figure out like which one did I like more? And I was doing the pros and cons and everything, but as someone who really loves emotion and drama and all this stuff, I think the part 2 is why, or like the reason I like part 2 is because it had all that stuff, had action, the drama, the emotion, like all that stuff. And it was amazing. It made me laugh, it made me cry.
Also, it helps that like the cast, their chemistry is all so
Mhm.
good. Like Ariana and Cynthia, I mean, you see it in their interviews. They're like, I mean, I understand why they're always crying now. Part
No.
one, I was like, guys, like, what's
No,
happening? But
like,
you
what
know
is
what?
going
I get
on?
it.
I get it too. Hello, they filmed technically like a 5-hour movie together, and they went through pre-production and production, post-production, interviews, and all this stuff. Like, they've been spending a lot of time together. And you're gonna get close to someone like that. You're gonna get deep. You're gonna like get emotional and everything. And but yeah, at first I also thought it was a little bit strange, and I was wondering if they were okay. But I get it. I do get it now. I would cry in every interview and be all touchy, feely if I was one of them, honestly.
Exactly. And especially like with Ariana, I feel like her whole career has just been like a manifestation of
Oh
being
my
in
god.
Wicked.
Literally, which is amazing. And also, for those of you who don't know, she actually wanted to be Elphaba.
Originally, yeah, I feel like it switched at some point, but yeah, she used to say she wanted to be Elphaba.
Yeah, but she was perfect. She was a perfect Glinda. And you can tell it was a lot of, like, method acting. Like, I don't know if you guys know what that means, but if you don't, you can just Google. I'm not gonna go over it, sorry. But you can tell it was a lot of method acting just through her interviews, and honestly, you just saw it on screen and everything, which I admire a lot. Method acting is kind of hard because you have to, like, put yourself into your character for real and then somehow drag yourself out of it, but you're so deep into your character that you kind of become your character, which is why people were like, "Her voice is changing, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, I mean, method acting, come on. But a lot of people don't know that, so.
Yeah, I feel like it's so crazy, like, seeing her in such a big role because, like, obviously, Cat Valentine,
Right.
victorious, but, like, that was, like, cheesy,
It was very cheesy.
kid acting and all that, and now that and I haven't really seen her, I don't think, in anything, like, to this scale. I know she actually just booked American Horror Story, but
She did.
I don't really watch that because 'cause I'm a little bit scared.
Same.
I watched season 1, and then I was like, "Okay, that's enough," but she I just really want to see her and Cynthia take the Oscars home. I
They're
want
going
it
to.
so bad.
They're going to. We're manifesting it. Just how Ariana manifested her role in Wicked, we're manifesting them taking it home on the Oscars.
Like, I'm just, like, imagining them getting announced, and especially because like, I know they both love Broadway, so, like, to get an Oscar for an adaptation of something, like, characters that were on Broadway,
Ugh.
I know it would mean so much to them, so I'm really rooting for them to get it, and they both, like, worked their asses off in that movie.
No, seriously. Cynthia used to post videos of her running on the treadmill and singing, and a lot of people were so shocked to find out that when they were filming, they were singing live. But I figured they would be singing live because you could feel the emotion like 10 times more than someone who would lip sync to it, you know?
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, them singing live is crazy. Like
Yeah,
flying
and
through the air and
I know they were, like, basically in there doing, like, combat training, trying to,
literally.
like just playing 2 little witches.
It was like it was like a it was a less intense version of like Marvel combat.
Yeah,
Basically.
essentially. And also speaking of the cast, Jonathan Bailey, who you're like obsessed with right now, but I'll tell you what, the men are lucky.
They are so lucky. They don't deserve him.
No. And I've been like recently like edits of him are on my For You page and I'm just
You're
like
welcome.
save. Yeah, I know, literally save. I mean, I thought he was fine in Bridgerton, which
I
I'm
still need to
excited.
watch.
I
I still
know,
need to
and I
watch.
know you're going to. I know
I
you're
know.
going to. But because season 2 was like his season, and my God, I love him so much. And anytime I see him on screen, a piece of me thinks that I have hope in men.
No, actually though. He's so, I mean, obviously we've never met him, but he's so like kind and he loves his family and like he's talented and he just seems like a person that you meet him on set or something and it's the first time you're meeting and then you just click and he's just like your buddy for the rest of the production.
And he's so funny too. I saw like the interview that recently he did with Ariana where they're making pizza.
Yeah.
And the way that he just seems so like, I feel like me and him would have the same sense of humor. Like, the things that he says and does, and it's, like, something that's, like, not even funny, but he'll start laughing. Like, during the interview, there was, like, certain things where I'm like, that's something I would laugh at, but it's just such, like, particular humor that he has, and I'm so obsessed with him. Like, the only man I would rally for is Jonathan Bailey.
No, quite literally, he can do no wrong. I
Mm.
dare you guys to come at him. I dare you. We stand in 10 toes down. I recently watched Jurassic World Rebirth with him and Scarlett. I originally watched it for Scarlett, but then I saw Jonathan and I was like, oh my God, hey, how you doing? But I've been binging so many Scarlett interviews, and so of course I binged the Jurassic World Rebirth ones with Jonathan and Scarlett, and they're just so funny. The picture of them where Scarlett's in the slutty glasses and
Oh my
Jonathan's
God, that
like,
was such a hot picture, though.
it was such a hot picture.
I was like, you know what? I ship it. Are they together in the movie?
No. No, I have a bone to pick with the writer, director, whoever of Jurassic World Rebirth. Why couldn't we get a kiss at the end?
Were they like not together, but like kind of like
They were very friendly. Like in my opinion, it was like a flirty kind of. They picked Scarlett's character, who I forgot her name, but Zora. She was picking on him a lot, and so it was like really cute. And then they basically were basically a team. I mean, there was a group of them, but of course people die. But then those two kind of just became a team, and it was so cute at the end. Like it ended with them like kind of looking at each other and stuff, and I was like,
it was like just kiss.
no, literally, I wanted them to kiss so bad. I was like, you're literally in a freaking rainforest with dinosaurs. You might as well kiss.
Right. Maybe they'll make another one. Do they do that?
Wait,
I don't really
they
know.
are.
Are they? Is it going to have Scarlett and Jonathan Bailey in it though?
It's supposed to have Scarlett. I don't know about Jonathan.
I feel like I read that he's actually taking time off of acting. I read that he's taking. I know. I read that he's taking time off acting to focus on charity. Which, like, oh my God. I know. Which, like,
He
you
is
can't
a
even be
good
mad
man,
at him for
Savannah.
that.
He is a good man.
While we were on the topic of Jonathan Bailey, can we please talk about As Long as You're Mine? Oh my God. I
literally I was almost on the floor, like quite literally almost on the floor. I was melting. Like, there was
oh no.
There was one part where like he's like, as long as you're my, and they're like singing and the camera is on him. The way he was looking at her, it made me laugh so hard because he was like,
he wanted that alpha bussy. He did. And I was also watching that, and first off, but something about no, literally. But whenever he started singing, okay, it wasn't funny, but I put myself in Cynthia's shoes, and I'm like, imagine sitting there, and then a man just starts scream singing into your face, and like I started laughing because musicals are so. Like, they have to be somewhat awkward. Yeah. Like, you're sitting there, and then someone's just like, as long as you... Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, acting is weird in general. Like,
yeah.
Acting's weird and awkward and stuff, but then you add singing on top of it, and so...
And then whenever she said that this is the first time that she truly felt wicked,
I
was like, not there about... Like, they were getting down and dirty.
When he started taking off his shirt... I need some holy water.
I know, right? I was sitting in the theater like, is anybody else getting hot?
I had a jacket on and I literally had to take it off.
You're like, okay.
I was like, okay, guys, it's getting hot in here. I'm sorry. And
No.
I was with, I saw the movie with a few of my cheerleaders and then one of the moms that I coached with. And we were just simping over him the entire time. And she was the one who was like, yeah, listen to your friend, watch Bridgerton. And I was like, I'm going to, guys.
See, guys, I've been trying to tell her because it's
Amber
coming out in
has been-
January.
Listen, guys, Amber gives me a new show to watch every 3 to 5 business days. Like, quite literally. And I'm like, I can't even get through the first one.
I literally think I've told you like 4 different shows since the end of October.
Yes, literally. And I'm not doing well.
I think I've told you Nobody Wants This.
I'm watching that now.
Yes. Severance, which
I tried.
you can wait on that one. What's another one? Bridgerton.
Hacks. I watched that one.
You did watch Hacks, but you liked Hacks.
I did like Hacks.
And then The Beast in Me, which you've started that before me, actually, but...
And then she finished it before me.
Yeah, this can be a whole different episode. It was a struggle, but you know what? I love Brittany Snow, so I stuck it out, okay? Anyways, back to Wicked, guys. Sorry, we can go on these tangents all day. The scene where after the fight, which we'll talk about in a second, after the fight between Glinda and Elphaba, whenever he... I can see us. Let's go, Greenie! Yeah, I love her, but whenever he was pointing the gun at Glinda, I was gagged.
I was gagged. I was like...
And he was like he was tearing up because
he didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it, and I think also he knew, like, him doing that was hurting Elphaba because as much shit as they had going on, like, they were connected.
Yeah.
And he broke they all, like, just kind of broke my heart in that scene. Like, it was a funny scene, but at the end of it, whenever he was, like, literally shaking as he was pointing, it wasn't even a gun. What would you call it? It was like a...
I think that it's their version of a gun.
Their version of a gun, but it looked almost like a...
It looked like a Nerf gun or something.
Yeah, it kind of looked like
or a flame shooter.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to think of. That's what it looked like. And she was like, whenever Glinda was like, he loves her, I said...
I can't.
But Jonathan Bailey,
Jonathan, if you're watching, we would allow you on the pod.
Yeah, the only man allowed on this podcast.
The only man that's allowed. While we're on the topic of the fight scene, that scene was so funny, and I was not expecting it to get as, like, quote unquote intense as it did. When Glinda slapped Elphaba, the entire theater was like,
Same.
My theater was like kind of empty, not gonna lie. And I was like, and then she was like, do you feel better?
And then she said,
and she did it again. And then when they started fighting, and every time Glinda would go at her, she would just fly. So funny. It's like a dog chasing a cat or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or a cat chasing a mouse. One of those.
Both.
Yeah. But yeah, it was so funny. And then when she mocked Elphaba's laugh.
I loved the shot where they had on the yellow brick road, like, of their shadows.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing them. They posted an Instagram picture of it. Like, I think one of them did, like, an Instagram dump, and it had, like, they took a picture. But anyways, I thought it was so, like, I loved that shot so much. And I was like, I'm so jealous of people who were, like, an extra on Wicked, because I'm like, that set must have been just, like, magical. Almost like what Barbie Land was like, but the Wizard of Oz. And I'm, like, just thinking about, like, just being in Oz, even if it's fake.
Literally, even with all the, like, CGI and stuff like that, like, it probably still felt really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the tulip, like, little garden, not little, but, like, the garden.
Right.
That's a real place. It's
and
in
why
the UK.
Why couldn't we have thought to go?
No, literally, I wanted to go, but I realized it's, like, 2 hours. It was 2 hours from where we were.
Mm-hmm. I think that we would have fun going to, like, a countryside sort of situation.
I know, we should do that. We'll plan it. Once we're not broke.
Right. Because we are right now. But yeah, I feel like, because there was also, like, Stonehenge that we wanted to go to, but that was, I think, like, an hour outside of London. Well, I don't know if you wanted to go, but...
I do, because I watch, like, Brave and stuff.
Right. But yeah, like, we need to do that, because I feel like we would really enjoy...
We will.
Even though we're both kind of city-like, but I feel like we like
but
our...
we're calm. We're, like, chill, too. Like,
countryside life. We're, like, slow-paced city girls.
Yeah. Who do you think loved Fiyero more? Like, genuinely.
Okay, I feel like Elphaba, but Glinda, I don't know that she necessarily loved Fiyero, like, in the sense of, like, that makes me sound like that Kelly Osbourne thing. It's like, in the sense of, like, I think she just wanted to feel loved. So she
Mhm.
was like trying to convince herself that she actually loved him to have that companionship. Obviously, Fiero was not fucking with it. Like, I do think that he loved Glinda, just not in that way
Yeah.
up until a certain point. But I do think that Elphaba definitely loved Fiero for Fiero. I mean, she put a freaking spell on him to protect him.
Literally.
And then he obviously loved her. So yeah, Fiero and Elphaba. Fiera.
Yeah. I also think that Elphaba loved him more. Well, maybe not more, just like she loved him both physically and emotionally. Whereas like I think Glinda liked the attention she was given and like the fact that she had someone to like walk around with basically
Mm-hmm.
and not saying that Glinda didn't love him because she was clearly emotional when he basically like left her at the altar and
Oh
stuff.
my god, that shot of
Um,
her crying.
I know.
Anyways.
I don't know, like, I felt bad in the moment, but then I realized, like, Glenda and Fiero really weren't meant to be together.
Mm-mm.
And it was just kinda like it felt like an act, and I think Fiero was overcompensating, basically,
Mm-hmm.
because they obviously didn't know where Elphaba was and all this stuff, and he wanted to go look for her, but at the same time, he didn't wanna disappoint Glinda because she was like, "She doesn't wanna be found, blah, 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 blah," which, kind of made me mad.
Right, because like she does. Like she
Yeah.
just wants somebody to believe her.
Yeah, and I feel like Glinda and Fiero, but Glinda was the first person to really believe her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's unfortunate that Glinda was like, "No, like forget it. She doesn't want to be here, blah blah blah." Because I'm like, "Girl, that's supposed to be your best friend.
Right. Like, yes,
That's
she
your
does want to.
girlfriend."
Right. Literally, I know what y'all are.
Piggybacking off of what you said about, like, how cool it was to be an extra, the person who was cast as Dorothy, she wasn't an extra, obviously, she had, like, a name, but her face was never shown, and once everyone found out who it was, everyone was like, "Oh, this is so underwhelming, blah, blah, blah," and I was like, "You don't see her face at all in the movie, so it doesn't really matter."
I do think not showing her face was like probably the smart decision just because we already have Dorothy's story. Like that is the Wizard of Oz. And also they wanted to honor Judy Garland because she is Dorothy. And I don't think anybody's ever going to be able no, not even think. I know nobody will ever be able to do Dorothy justice the way that Judy Garland did Dorothy justice. But I don't know, they're so mad. I mean, if they don't see her face, it's not like they're gonna get, I don't know, some like actress, A-list actress to play Dorothy and then just not show her. Like the actress wouldn't do that. And this is
Right.
a great opportunity for the girl that was Dorothy. I don't know why people are so mad at her for it or so mad at Wicked for it because I mean, she literally she was just there as they said a shadow kind of figure within the story. So I don't understand the hate personally, but
It's weird because, like, no A-list celebrity would ever really do a role like that when they don't have any lines or faces even shown. Like, they would feel like there's no point in doing it. Yeah, they're cool money, but what A-list celebrity actually needs a lot of money from that? Like, you know?
right. But it was like a cool experience. I looked at her IMDb and I think this is like her second or like only credit.
That's iconic,
And I'm like, for
honestly.
Wicked to be in your top 5 credits, that's huge.
Girl, who's your agent? Let me holler at him.
Right. Look, I don't even act, but let me holler too, because that would be like, I want to know what her audition process was. Because I
I
mean,
know.
I did see that she's a dancer, so I'm wondering if she had to have some sort of like body rhythm to her. Like elegancy, I guess you could say, like as she's going down the brick road. Like I just want to know because she didn't have lines. So were they like
Um,
trot away? Like I'm
I mean, usually when I do auditions that don't require me to have lines and require me to have like emotion and stuff, even if it's the back of my head, they usually make you act out that emotion. So she's supposed to be scared. They probably told her like pretend you're being chased or pretend that you're being held captive, like blah blah blah. How would you react? Blah blah blah. They probably did have her walk because she did walk down, and maybe they did have her do a dance. But I think a lot of it also came down to what she looked like because
mhm.
she has that look.
She does have the frame of like
Yeah,
Dorothy, yeah.
yeah.
On the topic of characters, who do you think was the most underrated?
If we were talking about the first one, I would definitely say Fiero because everyone hated on him.
Mhm.
And I was like, not too much on my man, not too much. But also the actors who played Glinda's friends,
Yeah, they were funny.
they were funny. And I felt like they had great comedic timing.
Mhm. Well, Bowen's on SNL. You know that,
Oh, that
right?
makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't watch SNL.
I don't either, but I've seen him just well,
Just
Hannah
there.
Einbinder was on it. Do you remember that TikTok I sent you? Or she wasn't on
You
SNL,
send me a
but
lot of TikToks.
okay, the TikTok I sent you, and she was on the podcast, and she was, like, crying because she was so happy to be on that podcast.
Yes,
That
yes.
was Bowen's podcast. But he does it
Oh.
with somebody that I can't think of their name.
Mm.
But yeah. Yeah, I agree. Then
They
we
were
didn't
cool.
really see a lot of them in part 2.
Nope, not at all. Maybe, like, we had the wedding scene, and we had maybe, like, 2 others.
Yeah, and I thought we were gonna see more, especially because I know Bowen's been, like, a lot more involved in press this time, I feel like,
Mhm.
but he wasn't really there
Yeah. I don't
in the
know.
movie. But,
Maybe
you know,
but a lot of scenes were probably cut out. I know there was one scene that was cut out
with
for
Glinda,
Glinda.
yeah.
Yeah, with, like, children.
I would've
Imagine
been
being an
so sick.
I would've been so mad.
I would've been like especially if you're telling people, like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be in Wicked for good," and then they're like, "Sorry." I would've been gutted, especially as a child. Like, as an
Mhm.
adult, I would've been gutted, but, like, as a child, I feel like my underrated character and I don't wanna say underrated, it's a hot take,
Okay.
that I feel like people will give me shit for.
Oh god. Who?
And I really need to be heard out on this one.
I'm gonna hear you out.
Okay.
Don't make me mad.
Listen, I did not like this character, but I had, for once, a little bit of sympathy for Nessa Rose. Listen.
No.
No, listen. I feel like she just wanted to be loved. I mean, a lot of people do, but, and I mean, yes, she had a
What?
very bad, listen,
Sorry.
she had a
I'm
very bad
trying.
way, she had a very bad way of going about it, okay? But, like, deep down, I do think it was just a place of hurt.
Yes and no. Because I felt like Elphaba really tried. Like,
Yeah.
she tried to make her feel seen, tried to help her and everything like that. She did love her. I don't know. I feel
You see what I mean, though.
I guess, but, like, still.
I mean, I didn't like her, like, definitely wouldn't put her top 7 in a
She made
blind
me
rank.
mad.
But she did piss me off a lot with the whole, "Elphaba did this to you." That did piss me off, and I was like, "You know what, bitch? The house can fall, okay?"
No, literally,
But
crushed.
right. But before that, I was like, she just I don't know.
What got me was when she banned all the munchkins, like, they
People were
couldn't
saying that
leave.
she was like Munchkin Ice.
No, literally, that made me
Again,
so mad, and then she made Bach basically, he became her servant, and then I just think that's so she was manipulative.
I will say Ethan Slater, that look that he gave Glinda,
The acting was so good as a Tin Man.
I know, and also,
Like,
like, I feel like in season or not in season 1, in part 1, he just kinda got on my nerves.
yeah.
And part 2, I feel like we saw a lot more from him because, like, in part 1, he was just kind of, like, thirsting over Glinda, which, like,
Yeah.
valid.
He was a
But
tryhard.
yeah, but in part 2, we saw a lot more of just his
Emotion
act.
and
Yeah.
depth. Out of pure curiosity, what was your favorite song?
I, like, have 3 that I cycle through constantly every day. I mean, I feel like For Good is just, like, it's for good, you know what I'm saying? No Good Deed.
No Good Deed.
And then I do like As Long As You're Mine, but I feel like that and No Place Like Home
Yeah.
are probably like okay, so I say For Good, No
Mhm.
Good Deed, and then As Long As You're Mine / No Place Like Home.
I think I would do give me a clock tick, guys. For Good, No Good Deed. No. For Good, As Long As You're Mine, No Good Deed, and There's No Place Like Home.
But those are like I think those are like the solid 4
Yeah.
from the film.
But I love As Long As You're Mine, but the scene just rolls through my head every time.
Talking about No Place Like Home, watching that and then like getting on social media and seeing certain people saying that they, liked the movie, and I'm like, it's almost like you're getting the point.
I saw an edit today to There's No Place Like Home, and it was like America, basically, and it had Kamala in it and like all this stuff, and I was just like,
There was one scene between Elphaba and the wizard, and she was like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll work with you, but you have to tell the people, like, you have to tell the Munchkins and, like,
Mhm.
people of Oz, like, the truth." And he was like, "Okay, like, I'll do that, but they're not gonna believe me because they don't want to. Like, I could prove it to them, whatever, but, like, they're not gonna believe me because they don't want to." And I was like, Well, that sounds familiar.
We're living that life right now,
We're
which is
in
so
Wicked.
scary. We are in Wicked.
And then, like, at the very end with, like, Glinda being like, "Yeah, like, the animals can come in and, like, we can all just be
Together and
together," and I'm
happy.
like people were, like, watching it, and, like, it's people that obviously, like, don't have the same beliefs that I do that are saying, like, they really enjoyed the movie, and I'm just like, "The lights are on, but
But
nobody's
nobody's
home."
home.
Nobody's home. To kinda wrap up this discussion, let's talk about the end because I have seen multiple theories, but I'm interested to hear what you think because I don't think we've actually talked about this.
So, as you guys know, Elphaba gifts Glinda the book with, like, all the spells and stuff. There's a
The
name for it.
Grimoire.
The Grimoire. And, at the end, Glinda's in Elphaba's, like, tower. What is it called? We're calling it a tower?
Sure.
Sure. We're calling it a tower. Glinda's in Elphaba's tower with the book, and she opens the book. The book is there, and she's kind of just like looking around, and then you see the rainbow. And if you think back to the early scene of young Glinda's birthday party, she was trying to do a spell. Obviously,
Hold on, because I didn't even clock that.
what?
Wait,
Really?
hold on. Yes!
Yeah, there was a rainbow at the end when she's
Stop.
looking out.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, there's a rainbow. And so that's why people are like Elphaba like did that for her basically to let her know that she's like okay. This just
Okay.
changed the entire question. Amber.
Hold on. Well, I was watching it and, like, people were saying, she did that to let Glinda know that she was alive, but
Mhm.
I don't think that that's the case at all. I mean, because I think that people were also saying, like, Glinda was finally good and she had access to these powers and Elphaba was a good witch and Glinda was not. No one mourns the wicked. Glinda
Right.
was the wicked. So I took it as like Glinda was finally good and could get her powers because I feel like I just don't know. I don't
I feel
see
like it
them.
can go either way, I think.
I
But
think it's whatever you want it to be.
it really did almost feel like a signal
Mhm.
because at the end she smiles. Like
Mhm.
Glinda smiles out and she's
That's
like
also another reason I was like, okay, maybe that is they like have this telepathy thing. What?
tele-
Telepathy.
tele-
Maybe they had this telepathy thing where they did just know. But then, Glinda was like, she's dead and showed the wizard the elixir.
Yeah. I
So,
don't know.
I don't know.
We always have a debate over who's Elphaba and who's Glinda out of the two of us. So we're going to do a BuzzFeed quiz right now and see our results.
The first question, which alignment do you personally identify with? Chaotic good, neutral good, lawful good, chaotic neutral, neutral evil, true neutral.
I think I'm like chaotic neutral.
Yeah, I'd say like lawful good. Like assume that means like you follow the law for the most part. Yeah, I do.
I mean, yeah, I do too, but
I feel like I'm also a chaotic neutral.
I feel like I'm a chaotic good. What do you think?
I feel like you're pretty good most of the time. Yeah.
Pick an iconic witch you'd love to attend Shiz University just for one short day. You have Hermione Granger from Harry Potter, Bonnie Bennett from The Vampire Diaries, Wanda Maximoff from WandaVision, Sally Owens from Practical Magic, Agatha Harkness from Agatha All Along, and Willow Rosenberg from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I know what you're picking. Because
Wanda!
Yeah, I'm going Bonnie.
I knew you were.
Choose something pink or green, and then there's a bunch of images. I think I'm gonna go with these roses.
I'm gonna do the clover. You're making a Broadway playlist. Pick an iconic song to add to it. Oh, there's too many good ones. Okay, sorry. Wait for Me from Hadestown. One More Day from Les Mis. Rose's Turn from Gypsy. Moments in the Woods from Into the Woods. Satisfied from Hamilton. She Used to Be Mine from Waitress. I don't know. I would be in between Satisfied from Hamilton and She Used to Be Mine from Waitress.
I'm between One Day More and She Used to Be Mine. I'm gonna go One Day More.
I'm gonna do She Used to Be Mine.
Choose a song from Wicked to add to your perfect playlist. The Wizard and I, Popular, Dancing Through Life, Defying Gravity, As Long as You're Mine, For Good.
That's so hard. That's like impossible.
Okay, I'm definitely between The Wizard and I, Defying Gravity, and For Good.
I'm between The Wizard and I, For Good, and As Long as You're Mine.
I think I gotta go Defying Gravity.
I think I have to do The Wizard and I.
That one's so good though.
know.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. If you could erase one movie musical from your brain and experience it for the first time again, which one would you pick? West Side Story, The Sound of Music, Grease, Mary Poppins, Dreamgirls, Tick Tick Boom.
You know what's crazy? We saw Jennifer Holiday from Dreamgirls
We
at the Jennifer
did.
Hudson show, and y'all, it was fantastic.
I would probably do Dreamgirls
I
or
was
Grease.
I was gonna go Grease.
Yeah. I'm gonna do Grease.
Finally, choose a Broadway actor to star in a movie with. Audra McDonald, Aaron, I don't want to butcher his last name,
Tveit.
Patty Lupone, Leslie Odom Jr., Bernadette Peters, Jonathan Groff. I'm gonna go Audra McDonald because of Private Practice.
I think I'm gonna do Leslie because I love Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Elphaba.
Fiyero! Your personality matches Fiyero. You're spontaneous, energetic, and observant. Like Fiyero, you're an entertainer, also known as you're someone who was the life of the party and wants everyone to have a good time. You're extremely generous with your time and energy, which is a quality people admire about you. You make life interesting because of your sense of adventure and need to have a good time all the time. You make new friends easily and always want to get to know what those closest to you are really like on the inside too. Hell no.
Your personality matches Elphaba. You're introverted, intuitive, and independent. Like Elphaba, you're someone who prides yourself on your mind and being well informed. You're someone who is creative and self-motivated to be the best version of yourself. Your ambition is a quality those around you admire the most. You're incredibly curious about the world around you and will do anything to help those in need. You're okay with not being everyone's favorite. You just care that those closest to you know the real you.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of accurate.
That's like
yeah.
really accurate.
Let us know what you guys think of Wicked for Good.
And if you haven't seen it, you should really go.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Be sure to follow us on our socials to keep up with all our episodes and behind the scenes. We'll see you guys next week.